I went to the Vietnamese embassy in Phnom Penh this morning at 8 o'clock. There was one other person there, and I was out of the door with my business visa in less than 45 minutes. Hey there guys, what's happening? It's Mike here, coming to you from the rooftop pool of my hotel here in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. And the reason that I'm in Phnom Penh, Cambodia again for the third time this year is that I've been applying for my 3-month business visa for Vietnam. And I'm happy to say that I got my visa approved this morning. And I'm going to share with you the exact process that I went through to get my 3-month business visa for Vietnam. In this video, I'm also going to share 2 other ways that you can stay in Vietnam legitimately for longer than 30 days. So if you are planning on traveling to Vietnam and you want to stay for longer than a month, then stick around guys, because this video is going to be super helpful for you indeed. So without further ado, let's head on downstairs to my hotel room. I'll show you around the hotel as well on the way down. It's a pretty nice hotel. It's called the Bridge Soho. I'll put a link in the description to this video for the hotel if you want to stay here while you're in Phnom Penh. And let's go downstairs and get started with today's video. So you can see it's a pretty nice hotel, really big gym, nice views of the city from the gym, amazing rooftop pool. This place, it cost me £25 per night, so that's what, about $35, $40, something like that for my friends in the States. Very affordable for something of this quality, but yeah, beautiful pool, and as usual, in times like this, nobody in the pool. It's got a nice little business lounge as well, where I've been editing videos. All right, so here's the room. You can see the tripod set up. So it looks like a pretty nice room. It is a pretty nice room actually. The only thing is it stinks like cigarettes. It smells like an ashtray in here. So it says no smoking, but clearly somebody's been smoking in here. Absolutely stinks. But think about the positives. Look at that view from the bed. Can't really complain about that, can you? Anyway, I'm back to Saigon tomorrow, so not a bad place to hang out for the next 24 hours. So, at the point of recording, which is the 5th of May 2022, the longest amount of time that you can stay in Vietnam on a tourist visa is 30 days, and that's possible on the e-visa program. So if you apply for the e-visa, if you want to know how to do that, you can check out my e-visa application guide. The link for that video is in the description to this video. And once you've been approved for the e-visa, you can stay in Vietnam legitimately for 30 days. However, once that 30 days is up, you have to leave Vietnam. At the time of recording, there's no way to extend the e-visa inside the country. The same is true for the visa exemption program. Now, there's a list of countries who are exempt from a visa for 15 days. At this point, the visa exemption program cannot be extended either. So if you want to stay in Vietnam for longer than 30 days, well, the tourist visa isn't going to be an option for you. Now, Vietnam isn't like Thailand, where you can get a retirement visa, you can get an education visa for long-term stay, you can extend your tourist visas in the country. Thailand's a little bit easier visa-wise. Now, it used to be like that over here in Vietnam. However, there was a big visa cull a couple of years ago, and a lot of people got kicked out the country then. So now, the Vietnamese government, and quite rightly so, have been tightening down on the visa requirements. So, like I said, this morning, I got approved for a 3-month business visa, and that is the first way to stay in Vietnam for longer than 30 days. It is to get a company to sponsor you and to work for this company. Now, this has to be legitimate, guys, all right? I can't stress that enough. There were lots of problems a few years ago of businesses selling business visas and people not even working, yeah? People who were working online were coming in, buying business visas, making money online, and they weren't actually adding to the Vietnamese economy. And this is when a lot of people were kicked out. Now, I'm actually going to be working for a company in Vietnam. A good friend of mine has got a car detailing and a marketing business in Saigon, and I'm going to be doing some consultation work with the marketing team, which is absolutely perfect for me. It gives me a 3-month visa, which I can then extend to a 12-month visa and convert that to a TRC, okay, a temporary residency card. Now, in order to get my business visa approved, I had to come here to Cambodia. I couldn't do it in Vietnam. So the company that I'm working with paid $170 for a sponsorship letter, okay? And the sponsorship letter looks like this. They had to provide account details, pictures of the premises that I'd be working in, okay? It wasn't like times of old where they just got the red stamp on. There was actually some checks that went through. So I got that sponsorship letter before I left for Phnom Penh, obviously. I filled out another form. I wasn't required to show any apostles' documents, any degree certificates, any police checks, nothing like that. I went to the Vietnamese embassy in Phnom Penh this morning at 8 o'clock. There was one other person there, and I was out of the door with my business visa in less than 45 minutes. Now, usually it's a 24-hour turnaround time. I was expecting to have to go back tomorrow and pick it up. However, I didn't need to do that. I've got my business visa and I'm flying back to Vietnam tomorrow. So if you can land a legitimate job in Vietnam, that's the first way of staying for longer than 30 days, finding a job. Now, obviously, I'm in marketing. One of the very popular jobs for people over in Vietnam is doing teaching. Yeah, a lot of people, in fact, almost every Westerner that you meet is a teacher, an English teacher. Now, if you want to find a teaching job in Vietnam, there's a good website called, I think it's called Teaching Jobs in Vietnam. I'll put a link in the description to this video for that as well. It might give you an idea on exactly how much you can make. I've never taught in Vietnam myself, but like I say, I know a lot of foreigners and expats in Vietnam who are doing that. And it gives you a long-term stay option in the country, doesn't it? So that's the first option, getting a job and getting a business visa. The second option is doing visa runs. Now, this is something that I don't recommend at all, yeah? Going out of the country and coming back in every single month, it would be a pain, wouldn't it? I wouldn't want to be living like that. And who knows what would happen, you know? You could get turned away at the border at any time. However, I do know that people are doing this, yeah? There are services now for border runs for, I think it's like $100, $150. You can get an all-inclusive border run from Saigon to the Moc Bai border, including your test when you go back into Vietnam and including your visa going into Cambodia. I actually did one of these myself to get an extra 15 days. Now, I came into the country on an e-visa, then I did the visa run to extend that e-visa, or to get a second e-visa to get me another 30 days, and now I'm here getting my business visa. I wasn't prepared to, well, firstly, I wasn't prepared to work on a tourist visa because it's illegal, but secondly, if you want to stay in Vietnam, you know, for 6, 12 months, you've got to ask yourself, do you want to be going out of the country every 30 days? You know, it's really not that much fun, particularly if, you know, you want to set yourself up there long term. To me, a visa run, it is an option for like maybe 60 days, maybe 90 at a push, but anything longer than that, well, it's just not a viable option for me. People are doing it, but for me, I wouldn't recommend it, all right? Okay, so that's the second one, doing visa runs. And the third one, you might have a little bit of a laugh at this, but I know several people who have taken this route in the last couple of years, and the third option is getting married. Okay, so when you get married to a Vietnamese citizen, you get a 5-year visa exemption. I was chatting to a friend of mine who's married a Vietnamese girl, and he can stay in Vietnam, no issues now for the next 5 years. Hopefully his marriage is going to last longer than 5 years, but that's the deal. When you get a marriage certificate, you get a 5-year visa exemption, and I guess after year 5, that gets extended to another 5-year one. Now, if getting married isn't something that is top of your agenda, which I can understand, you know, I know a lot of people in the US do this as well, like a convenience visa marriage. If that's not the top of your priority list, which I understand, it wouldn't be the top of mine if you didn't meet the right girl, then think about the other two options, you know. Would you be prepared to work in Vietnam? Would you want to get a job in Vietnam? Or do you want to do the visa run option, which I wouldn't recommend? Those really are the top 3 options. Now, there is another option, another couple of options of investing into a company. Okay, if you invest, I think it's $135,000, you can qualify for a TRC, a temporary residency permit. However, investing 135 grand just to stay in Vietnam for a couple of months, it's not going to be the best idea. However, if you want to stay here for years and years and years, and you're an investor and you've got some money flowing, well, that might be an option for you. Now, I just want to finish off this video, guys, by saying and putting my hands up, despite what I've said here, I'm definitely not a visa expert, okay? I'm definitely not a visa professional. I'll put my hands up and admit that. I'm simply sharing what's worked for me. Like I said, there's been loads of people asking questions about visas and long-term stay on my YouTube video, so I wanted to give you guys an answer. But I also recommend that if you are staying or you do want to stay long-term in Vietnam, please, guys, consult a proper visa professional who can give you some proper help. I went with a company in Tao Dien who really helped me. They were absolutely excellent. If you would like information about the company that I went with, feel free to drop a comment or send me a private message, or you can connect with me in my free Facebook group, Digital Nomad Entrepreneurs. There's only about 100 people in. It's a fairly new group, but I want to grow that group to over 10,000 people in the next 12 months. So come on in, join the group. You can connect with me there, and we'll share all sorts of information about how to stay in countries for longer than 30 days, how to make money online, and all that good stuff. With that said, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.